Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. Tonight I'm going to be doing a review of another highly anticipated film. This one was once again from Canada, English language, released in the year 2011, directed by a group known as Astron 6, and this film is called Father's Day. And the story to Father's Day is as follows. Ahab, a man obsessed with exacting a brutal, violent revenge on the man who murdered and raped his dad, joins John, an eager priest, Twink, a hot-headed street hustler, and Chelsea, the little sister he left behind, on an epic quest to find and defeat the mythical monster known as Chris Fuckman, aka the Father's Day Killer. So the movie centers upon a serial killer known as the Father's Day Killer, aka Chris Fuckman, who rapes and murders fathers. So the tagline of the film is "Lock up your fathers." So that was pretty funny. So Chris Fuckman is doing this at will. He has the community in terror. And so one of the fathers that he has raped and murdered was the father of Ahab, which is our hero of the film. Now, Ahab has an eye patch, and he has a lot of guilt. Not only was his father brutally murdered, he also has the guilt of leaving behind his younger sister named Chelsea, who is now a stripper. So Ahab is reluctant to return to this community because a priest named John goes to Ahab, and he wants to recruit Ahab because he sees Ahab as the only person who is able to stop this serial killer. So Ahab returns to this community, and he teams up with John, the priest, Twink, who is a young gay street hustler, and his sister Chelsea, who still has a lot of tension between the two because of the fact Ahab just left after the father was murdered. So they team up together in order to try and bring down Chris Fuckman. But along the way, there is a hell of a lot more to the truth than they first thought. So that's what I'm going to give you in the synopsis. If you want to know more, please go out there and see this film for yourself. Now, my thoughts on the movie. This one had gained a lot of notoriety because it was banned in Australia, which was really puzzling because in the UK it was actually released uncut, if I'm not wrong. So the UK is usually a lot more stricter than Australia. So it was a very strange decision. It was a decision that was not very popular at all. So there was a petition that was signed, and eventually it was won on appeal. So it was re-released. But I think that it was cut by a few seconds. I could be wrong, but I think there was a genital mutilation scene that was cut out. So it was only a few seconds, and that was only done for shock value, so it has no real impact on the story. But this is the type of film that you don't really need any sort of sense to the story because it's just completely insane. So based on that, the hype was really, really big. A lot of people here on YouTube love the film, and I loved Hobo with a Shotgun, which is another movie from Canada that is under the same sort of feeling of that film, of Father's Day, in that it's a throwback to Grindhouse, 70s sort of exploitation films, not to be taken seriously. So a lot of people said it's much better than Hobo the Shotgun, that it was much more extreme than Hobo. So that was, they're big words because I loved Hobo the Shotgun. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. So this one, it was supposed to be a hell of a lot more offensive and a hell of a lot more sort of violent and, grotesque. So I, really, really build this one up to be something really big. At the end of it, I can't believe the hype that this film has actually got and the success that the film has got, and a lot of people loving it. Now, each to their own. You're entitled to love the film, but as far as I'm concerned, if I am reviewing this honestly, I think this is one of the most sort of juvenile films that I've come across in a very long time, and I thought it was absolutely horrible. Now, to start with, yes, it's only $10,000, but the way that the film is shot, the bright colouring just gave me a headache, and I started to get sick of it quite quickly. And yes, it does have that in Hobo with a Shotgun. Now, Hobo with a Shotgun had a bigger budget, so I can understand them trying to cover the flaws in the production value in this film. But Hobo was done in that same sort of retro Grindhouse feel, and I thought that was done a lot better because the colouring, yes, it was bright, but it wasn't as bright as it is in this film. And I actually thought some of the scenes, it blocked you from seeing certain things because of the way it was shot. So I understand that it is a throwback, but I thought it was just poorly done in this film. I really couldn't focus too hard because, as I said, it gave me a headache. So that was a big sort of negative straight away. But having said that, 3/4 of the film was okay. I thought there was a few laughs. It's not so funny at the start, but it does, when it gets rolling, it does get funnier. There were some genuine, laugh out loud moments, which I really appreciated. And I thought the way that it was going, yes, it wasn't going to be a masterpiece, but it was going to be enjoyable. No, I never really considered it to be as good as Hobo with a Shotgun, but I could still appreciate what this group was trying to do. Something that was very offensive and something that was unapologetic. And that is what filmmaking is all about. And for the most part, I thought, it was very well done. But then you get to the final act, and some people might appreciate that, but I just thought it was absolute juvenile crap. It tried to be as offensive as possible to religion, that kind of thing. It's very sort of provocative, which I can appreciate. It's not a film to be taken seriously, but the way it finished, I just thought the joke was on me. I paid $19 for this, and I felt insulted, to be honest. And I felt angry towards Astron 6 that they would deliver such a juvenile movie and demand that I pay $20 for it. So they're not putting a gun to my head saying buy this, but the hype that was surrounding it, I just can't believe that I was watching the same film because I thought it was absolute tripe. It's just it's the way it finished. It was absolute rubbish. No, I can't really say anything else. It just I understand this might be what Troma's all about, but it wasn't as crap, in Hobo with a Shotgun. It didn't go off the rails like it did in Father's Day. I'm just absolutely baffled that this movie has the accolades that it actually got, because I must be missing something. Maybe this is a different film, because it was just, I seriously, I don't know. As it says in the back, makes Hobo with a Shotgun feel mainstream. It was a lot more violent, as I said, a lot more sort of disgusting. Destined to become a midnight movie classic. Spot on, surreal and frequently very funny. Father's Day is a modern masterpiece of bad taste. So, I must have watched a different film, because this is hands down one of the worst movies I've come across in a very long time, and I cannot tell you how disappointed I was with it. I built it up to be something really, really good, and for it to come nowhere near it, I was actually very, very unhappy that I spent money to actually go and buy it. And as I said, no one forced me, but I was under the impression that I was going to get something that was very different and that was very well done. But in the end, what I got was a god-awful film. So I'm really sorry for those of you who liked it. I can't share the love. If I'm reviewing honestly, I'm going to give it 0 stars. Really, really disappointing. I can't review this properly because I'm absolutely gobsmacked how juvenile it was. Just throwing stuff out there and just thinking it was good enough to put to a film and sell. I don't understand it, but anyway. So, as you can tell, I'm a bit shocked, but yeah, that's my review. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Sorry to those of you who liked the film, but for me, I thought it was insulting, to be honest. So, Astron 6. Okay, that's it, guys. That's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.